You have spent every waking second of your life with yourself, yet you are the only person in the world you will never actually see. Your brain builds a hyper-realistic map of the entire universe, but it deliberately leaves out the observer at the center. Today, we reveal the neural blind spot where your true self vanishes. So let's start with a challenge. Imagine we put you in the most advanced brain scanner on Earth. Perfect resolution. Every neuron live in real time. Now point to the exact coordinate where you are. Not where your language is. Not where your vision is. Not where your memories are. Those all have addresses. I mean the thing watching all of it. The one having the experience right now. Give me the coordinate. You can't. And here's the strange part. This isn't a technology problem. A better scanner won't fix it. The problem is structural, because here's the paradox at the heart of it. Think about your eye. Your eye can see this entire room. It can see mountains, faces, galaxies, but it cannot see itself. Not directly, never. And the one thing it definitely cannot see is the act of seeing. You see the image. You never see the machinery that made it. Your sense of self works exactly the same way. It's the instrument doing the looking, so it can never be the thing that gets looked at. Whatever you turn around to inspect becomes an object, and the inspector slips away again. And this isn't new. A philosopher named David Hume noticed it almost 300 years ago. He said whenever he went looking inside himself for the self, he only ever found something specific. A feeling, a thought, a sensation, a bit of warmth or cold. He never once caught the self that was supposedly having them. Just the experiences, one after another, with nobody visible behind them. He called it a bundle, a stream of contents with no owner in the picture. Now your brain does have a self-model. That part is real. There are networks, including one called the default mode network, that build your sense of being a continuous person with a past and a future. But notice what that is. That's a model of you, a representation, like a character in a game or a dot on a map that says you are here, and here's the trap. The dot on the map is not the person reading the map. The self-model is content. It's something being observed, so it can't be the observer. Which leads to the biggest mistake people make about consciousness. It's called the homunculus fallacy. The idea that there's a little person inside your head, sitting in a control room, watching your experience on a screen. It feels exactly like that, but it explains nothing, because now you have to ask, who's inside that little person's head watching their screen, and inside that one? It never ends. There is no screening room in your brain. Nobody has ever found one. There's no place where all the signals arrive and a viewer takes them in. No theater, no audience, no seat. Instead, your brain processes everything in parallel, all over the place at once. Color here, motion there, sound somewhere else, meaning somewhere else again. There's no central desk where it all gets assembled for a boss to review, and yet your experience feels perfectly unified. One smooth scene, one point of view, one person. That's the trick. Unity is the output, not proof there's a single thing producing it. Your brain does this kind of seamless invention constantly. Case in point, you have an actual physical hole in your vision right now. Where the optic nerve leaves each eye, there are no receptors, a literal blind spot. You never notice it. Your brain fills it in so smoothly, you'd swear the gap isn't there. It doesn't show you static. It doesn't show you a hole. It shows you a finished picture and says nothing. Now apply that same habit to the self. Your brain doesn't report "no observer found." It generates the seamless feeling of one, because a creature that hesitates about who's in charge doesn't act fast enough to survive. And there's a real experimental hint here. In studies going back to Libet, brain activity linked to a decision has been detected before people report consciously deciding. The interpretation is heavily debated, but at minimum, it suggests the I that feels like the author sometimes arrives after the fact. Split brain research points the same direction. When the connection between hemispheres is cut, one side can act on information the other side never received, and the verbal side confidently invents a reason for what the body just did. So the storyteller isn't reporting from the control room, it's narrating after the fact. And it does it so well you've never once caught it. Which brings us to why the scanner shows a hollow center. It's not that the equipment is too crude. It's that I may not be a thing with coordinates at all. It might be a process, like a wave, or a flame, or traffic. You can point to where traffic is happening. You cannot point to the traffic itself as an object you could pick up. It's a pattern, not a possession. Yourself may be exactly the same kind of thing. And that's the honest state of the science. Researchers can map the networks that build your sense of self with real precision. What nobody has done, and what no scanner in 2026 or later is built to do, is find the experiencer itself. That gap even has a name: the hard problem of consciousness. So here's where that leaves you. You are the one thing in your entire universe you cannot look at. Not because you're hidden, and not because you're broken, but because you are the looking. Every face you've ever seen, you saw from the outside. Yours is the only one you'll only ever meet through glass, glare, and photographs. Always a copy, never the original. So the next time you go looking for yourself, you'll find thoughts, feelings, sensations, and a very convincing story. Just never the one doing the finding. The center of your map is, and always will be, beautifully empty. So, did you find your coordinate? Comment invisible if this broke your brain a little. Subscribe for more things hiding inside your own head, including, apparently, you.